Is Frag Punk on a collision course for failure already? Hey guys, Nightfall here, and there's been a lot, and I mean a lot of hype around Frag Punk from the very beginning, but it seems like that hype, that honeymoon phase, is starting to wear off, and player counts are dwindling. At the time of recording this video, Frag Punk has just under 3,000 viewers on Twitch, which doesn't really mean anything to me personally, but I know a lot of people out there like to use Twitch viewer numbers as a measuring stick of how well the game is doing, so there's that number, and it's only bringing in around 35,000 players with a peak in the last 24 hours of around 48,000. This doesn't include epic player counts, but I'm sure that wouldn't add much to this failing number anyway. Maybe another 5,000-6,000 if that. And with the console release getting delayed and there being absolutely no word on when that's coming yet, things are looking grim. Just 13 days ago, we can see from that same graphic that Frag Punk had a whopping 114,000 players. So they've basically lost close to 70% of their players in just a few weeks. This is surprising given the amount of positive feedback it received, minus all the microtransactions, which by the way, aren't looking so micro anymore because they introduced new plasma skins, which they're cool looking skins with pretty awesome animations, but my god, does it get expensive, and it gets expensive fast. Also, another issue with this game is there seems to be no balancing. We have only received one real patch in the last 2.5 weeks where they just change things in the game, and I'm not talking about just bug fixes or small things like that. I'm talking about actual changes to either lancers or cards. Certain lancers are just way too underpowered and seem almost useless, and others are extremely overpowered and picked almost every single game. And if you want to hear my personal takes on all the lancers, make sure to like this video and I'll get around to doing a tier list at some point because I do have some pretty strong opinions about certain lancers. So take the dying player base and mix it with this graphic and it spells a recipe for disaster. One that I've seen before. This graphic is someone in a high rank waiting for a ranked match, and they're having to wait well over 10 minutes to find a game, and that's if they ever even found one. All of these numbers are on a Saturday, which you'd think would be like a peak day for gaming, but apparently not for Frag Punk. And do you know what happens when you mix low player counts with highly competitive players who are having to wait over 10 minutes to find a game? You get smurfing, and it's already begun to happen. People starting solo grinds from bronze to punk master and overall trolling and making a mockery of the ranked system, all while crushing unsuspecting players in the low ranks on their way to produce, quote, competitive content. Now, for those of you that have been following me since my X-Defiant days, you might think,
oh shit, here we go again.
Because you already know, this very same thing happened with X-Defiant, and without a console release, this game is falling faster than Lizzo down a flight of stairs. Now, it likely won't shut down completely because of the sheer amount of money behind the game being supported by the microtransactions. Just think of how many people probably already spent hundreds of dollars on this game trying to get that constellation sword. But if Smurfs start taking over the same way they did in X-Defiant, it's going to drive more and more players away from this game slowly each and every single day. And because of how low the player count is getting, you will start to notice immediately the Smurfs in your lobbies. Now, the way rank works, they won't stay there for long, but nothing is stopping them from making a new one and a new one and then another one. They can just endlessly do this because it's a free game. Now, for those of you who have spent the last, I don't know, minute and a half thinking to yourself, what the fuck is a Smurf? Here's a quick rundown. A Smurf is somebody who reaches a high rank because they're a good player. They get bored of waiting for 15 minutes to find a match or see no value in continuing to play on that account because they reach their peak. So instead of continuing to grind out on that main account, they go and make a brand new account and start in the lower lobbies and just go and destroy lower skilled players. It's funny for them and maybe some of their viewers, not so fun for the people on the other end of that stomping. We are quickly closing in on 3 weeks that this game has been released, and it's in desperate need of a console present. But even when it does come to console, it's going to face the same problem and the same backlash that other games have recently when they release on console, and that's people bitching and moaning that it won't be on PS4 and Xbox One platforms. Frag Punk, like so many other games recently, will only be on the Series S and X and PS5. And for those of you crying about it, we gotta draw the line somewhere. These consoles have been out for 5 years almost already. And we're talking about the next gen consoles coming out in the next 2 to 3 years. There's zero chance companies will want to make games for 3 separate generations of console on top of a PC edition. Plus, the advancement from the last gen to this current is miles ahead. And if games want to stay relevant, they can't be wasting funds developing the game for all these different platforms. It's honestly just a waste of time. And most of these games would run like shit on older platforms anyway. Plus, by now, people already have their hands on a newer gen console or could probably go and get one if they really wanted to. And if you're still whining about this, just save up and get a PC and stop buying new consoles every 7-8 years. A good PC build now can last you 10 plus years with minor upgrades. Sure, in 6 years from now, you might not be playing the newest games at 240 FPS on medium to high settings like you once could, but you're still way ahead of consoles and usually get better performance anyway. Think about this, Xbox Series X and PS5 only run 120 FPS. If you wanted to build a PC that could run 120 FPS today on most of the games that you're gonna play, you could easily build one for less than $1,000. But enough bashing on the people hanging onto their PS4s. Let's get back to the real meat and potatoes here, and that's FragPunk is in trouble, and a lot of people either don't even realize it yet, or will comment on this video saying, I don't know what I'm talking about and I'm just hating, and they just won't admit it. The numbers speak for themselves. I by no means want this game to die. I've started pouring my own money into it, and I've been having fun. I feel like I have good ideas for content that I can make with this game, and I want to see it thrive. But it's out of the players' hands at this point. We need updates. We need a console release. And above all else, we need some motherfucking aim assist. Please, for the love of all that is holy, just an ounce, a shred of aim assist for controller players. Something similar to Marvel Rivals in terms of strength. And I swear to God, the first person that comments about this fucking gyro aim, banned forever. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on all of this. Do you think FragPunk is slowly dying, or is this just a short-term thing before it picks back up? Let me know down in the comments, and I'll catch you in the next one.